This Hangout is on the air. It's live. Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. This is another exciting edition of Lunch with Len and Laura. So, and I already put a message in this chat that says we're starting in a few. So I guess we're starting in a few. For those of you who were trying to get onto the webinar this morning for oils, all I can do is shake my head and say I have no clue, none whatsoever, why we couldn't launch the webinar this morning. But everything's working again now. So, hi, Lexi. So, at any rate, you're all here. Welcome aboard, everybody. We have Amanda, Elise, Lexi, Rick. Hello, Rick. Terry, Bill. Hello, Bill. And Deborah. Hello, Deborah. And Chris and Laura. Oh, Laura's here. And Andy. Hello, everybody. Welcome aboard. And I'm going to shut up and get out of the way and let Laura do her thing. So I'm white boxing you, Laura. You are up, and I am zipped.
Really? All right. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. I have some really cool tips and tricks for you today. The first thing I want to tell you is I want to give you a little bit of background on why I decided to go Google Calendar. For me, many of you know, if you've been following me for a while, that I have two girls, I have a business, and we have school stuff because the girls are 8 and 10, and we have family things, and there are so many things that we have, and I was doing it all in just a calendar, 8.5 by 11, 2 pages per week, and I was scheduling everything in pencil. And what was going on was I was getting to the point where if I wanted to schedule something for any one of those events, I was having to go to that calendar, and it just wasn't advantageous to do that anymore because we're just getting busier and busier. So I started researching, what might be a fit for my family, and I really wasn't sure if I wanted to cross the digital line yet, and everything kind of started leaning towards that. So I decided to just dive in and create our Google calendars. And so one thing I want to tell you about Google Calendar that I've learned so far is this. Google Calendar is not available on an Apple phone. So that I do know. But you can still use a Google Calendar if you have a Gmail account and if you're just, right from your desktop. So many people have Gmail accounts, but they sometimes don't realize that they have a calendar and a lot of other things attached to it. So today I'm just going to walk you through how to set up a calendar or calendars, how to do some of the normal settings, and then I'm also going to show you some of the really cool features that really is going to save you time. And I have my calendars all set up, and at the end of the webinar or close to the end of it, I'm going to show you how mine works. But for now, we're going to start. I'm going to do a screen share, and we're going to start with something basic. So if you pull up here on your computer, later you can watch the replay, and you can pull up as you go things that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to try to make it really easy for you. I hope I do that. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share. And okay, so Len, can everybody see can you guys see the screen?
I see the screen. It says Google.
Okay, awesome. So is it big enough? Because I want to make sure.
Does everybody else see the screen?
Yeah, let me know if you can see the screen, and is it big enough? Can you see it? Because it's really important. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, can you guys put a 1 in the chat if you currently have a Gmail account? And that would be helpful because I kind of want to understand, do I need to go really basic, or can I go a little bit beyond that and kind of jump into? So if you already have, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so maybe, a little bit more than half. All right, so basically, I'm going to take you through So here's Google. You just go to google.com and you have this little box up here. The right-hand side, it's a square, and it's got 9 little squares to make the square. That, if you don't know, that's where you can get to a lot of really cool different things. I won't really go over this, but just to mention, there's your Google Drive that you can access pretty much anywhere. You have a translator, your mail, and then down here on the right in the middle, you have your calendar. All right, so here's my calendar that I'm going to show you. And I don't have anything in it right now, but I will tell you that when you have your Google account, you'll automatically default to one calendar. And this is my one calendar. It's called Laura S. So my one calendar, Laura S, currently has nothing on it. Okay, so I want to kind of do something with you first, as I want to go over to the settings of the calendar. In order to do that, you want to go all the way to the right, and you want to click on the little gear settings. You want to click that, and then you actually want to click settings. Here's where I want to make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. All right, so your calendar settings, you have general, you have your general tabs, your calendars tab, and your labs tab. And a lot of really cool things go into that. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set it up. So your language, you can put your current time zone. Now this is kind of neat. You can choose to do this or not. Now, if you're in the Eastern time zone, but you work with a lot of people that are in, let's say, the Pacific time zone, you can add that time zone, okay? And I'm going to show you a little bit later why that matters. You can put your date format, your time format, you know, just how you want it to look, notifications. You can say your events from Gmail, do you want to add them automatically? How you want your week to start, event dimming. Now from your phone, I know that the reason this is important is if you're looking on your phone for your events for the day and you have it on agenda, which I'll talk later, is you can dim the past events so you don't think they're ones that you currently have, you know, that you're current day events. So it kind of dims them out and it shows that they're past. And then it also does reoccurring future ones. So then it will ask you, do you want to show your weekends? What do you want your default view to be? You can change it to day, week, or month. I keep mine in month. I have my custom view set to 7 days. You can, if you have lots to do, you can make it just 4, or you can, you know, go further than that. And then you can also integrate, this is one of the cool tricks that I was going to show you. You can actually integrate weather-based. So if you want to show Celsius or Fahrenheit, you can do that. And I'll show you later what that's going to do, which is actually pretty cool. You can add, so all this other stuff, you can add in invitations to your calendar. You can automatically add video calls. Now here's one. You can do alternate calendars here. And you can put in a Hebrew calendar. You can just a Korean calendar. So it's pretty universal. You can put in all other different calendars. Now, there's also another place that I'm going to show you in a little bit where you can also add additional calendars. And it's not limited to just these, because here there's really not that many. But then you can enable your keyboard shortcuts. And what that means is when you're in your calendar later, and let's say you want to add a time or something in there, there's just a keyboard shortcut that if you're doing it a lot, I will give you a list later. If you enable this, I can give you that list so that you can post it up there. That's something that I can send to you. So send me a message if this is interesting to you, and I'll go ahead and I'll send you the list. So anyway, then you go ahead and save. Okay, now I'm going to go back in there to settings. And then I'm going to click on the calendars tab. Now the calendars tab is where you will integrate your calendar if you want. Well, first of all, if you want to create a new one, you can do that. But if you want to share this calendar, let's just say you have your calendar and there's a family member that you want to share it with. Now, when I set my other calendar up, I went ahead and I shared it with my husband. So I click share, and then when you type in whoever it is, let me see if yours comes up, Len. Yep. So if I wanted to, I could share my calendar with Len. And then boom, share, there he goes, Len Mooney. Now, the nice thing about this feature is you can actually say, well, I want him to see all my event details, and I want him to be able to make changes to them, and I want him to also do the managed sharing. Or I only want him to see my free and busy time. So there's a lot of different things that you can. Removing. Whoops.
Where'd you go?
My screenshot went away when I did that.
Oops.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll just go right back. All right. Are we back?
I see Mickey.
Oh, you don't see that. Oh, I wonder why it did that. All right, let me stop. And let me share again. Yeah, you only see Len. I wonder why that is. Ruh-roh. All right. I will. Len's on the screen now. All right, guys, sorry about that. I'm going to try. Yeah, I went away, didn't I?
Yeah, well, your name is there, and I have you white boxed, but I don't. But there's no picture. It's like the camera went away or something. The video feed went away.
All right. Well, sorry about that. I'm going to try. I'm going to go back here. I'll switch screens and see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, smile.
Does that make a difference?
No, I am smiling, Annie.
Huh. All right. That's not good.
Well, at this moment, what you might try doing is exiting and re-entering again.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm so sorry, guys. This is techno stuff. I will be right back.
Meanwhile, should I sing or dance or entertain the audience or?
Yes, go ahead and sing.
Well, it looks like it's just you and us now, me and you guys. I wonder if the fact that we're doing Google Calendar has some sort of an impact on. Yeah, Laura's actually dropped out completely, Lexi, and is just going to come back in again as if she's starting over. But yeah, go ahead, Rick. Well, she's back. There she is.
All right.
There she is. All right, we have her. I'm going to white box you again. There you are. You're up. Can I make? Rick says he wants to make a request. Yes, Rick. You may go potty. Oh,
what's the request?
I don't know. Yeah, I heard something bark. It might have been Toby. He's out back, Chris. He's trying to open the gate right now. He's working on the gate.
Okay.
There you go. I see Google. We're back to your calendar.
Okay. We were going to the calendars tab now. Okay. Rick, what was your request? Were you just joking around? I'd like to hear you sing of the dead. Oh, okay. I thought it meant a request for this. Okay, so now we're back. Sorry about that. Here we go. the calendar settings, now we're going to go on the calendars tab. So this is where you can share your calendar. You can edit your notifications. You can also throw in a birthday calendar and start adding people's birthdays, which is kind of neat. This is what I was going to tell you. It was really cool. If you create a new calendar, you can create Toby a calendar. And every time he wants to go out for a walk, you can you can actually put a time where you have to make sure you're going to walk him. Down here, you just put your calendar time zone. You can put your location. You can make your calendar public, share it, and then just you create it. And then there you go, it'll show up. Now, a couple of neat things about these calendars. When you go down to the right-hand side, you see a drop-down menu on the boxes. Well, if you drop down, you can edit the color that you see. For your tasks, you can change them green. Toby the dog, we can make him blue. So that's kind of neat. And what I did on my other calendar that I'm going to show you in a little bit is I color-coded my family members. And that just makes it easier for me when I'm looking on my phone, because if I'm just looking for Sophia's, I'll know just to look for the purple calendar. So now, when you're done doing that, figuring out which ones you want to add, or if you just want to keep one, however you want to do it, there's another thing down here called Other Calendars. And if you click on the Other Calendars, this is where you can also add a friend's calendar. Now, we did that. But you can also browse interesting calendars. And this is kind of neat because you have different holidays, and you have Jewish, you have Muslim, you have Orthodox, you have holidays in different countries, and the list goes on and on. But that's a really cool feature. And then if you click on the sports tab, you can add, like, let's say baseball. You can add a baseball, Major League. You can look up, okay, I'm from Detroit, so I would do Detroit Tigers. And then whatever calendar you get on, you just click subscribe. And that's all you have to do. Now, if you go on the More tab, you could do phases of the moon, star dates, sunrise and sunsets for a specific city that you're in. And so it's really limitless. So I'm going to go back. So see now, when you look at other calendars, you see Detroit Tigers is listed. Now, when you click on it, these are toggle calendars. So when you click on them, they'll show up. Well, I don't know that that was really a great calendar to share. Yeah, it was. Their schedule isn't out yet. But when their schedule is out, everything will automatically appear in here. And, you know, you don't really have to go in for the schedule. The other nice thing about this, when you do other calendars, is you may or may not have kids that are in Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Some schools have athletic programs. And the nice thing about that is you can actually, and I'm going to show you how to do it real quick, is you can add by a URL. And I'm going to show you real quick. Oh, I spelled it wrong. How easy it is. This is from my daughter's school. They have a website that you go to look at the calendar. And once you see the calendar, okay, here it is. Schedules. Basketball, freshman girls. Oh, where is that? Teams and schedules. Choose a team. Basketball, freshman. Okay. All right. So if I look at her schedule, then on the options tab, and it's different for every place, but here's the URL, the direct link. So I can click and copy that, bring it over here, paste it in and say add calendar, and might take a few seconds to import it, but it imports it. Oh, okay. But it's supposed to import it so that the whole entire schedule comes onto your calendar. And you'll see with my other one, it works. So that's pretty cool. And so that's pretty much it for setting it up. Now, what comes into play more is once you have your whole entire calendar set up, and I'm going to switch my accounts. All right. I'll do for a month. Now here is my family calendar. I switched gears. And I just kind of wanted to show you. Now we have my calendar, my daughter's calendar, a birthday calendar, my business calendar, our family calendar, the reminders, Rick's calendar, and now Sophia's calendar. And then on the bottom here, I added weather, and I added the Girl Scout calendar, and then holidays, and then I added the GA events, which is Alicia's athletic for basketball. So when you have it set up like this, there are many different ways that you can view it. So if you just want to see, if I just want to see Alicia's calendar, I can click on the drop down arrow and click on display only this calendar. And it only shows her calendar. And then if I want to say, okay, well, if I want to add Sophia's to make sure that nothing, we don't have anything going on at the same exact time, which today we did, 2 of them actually, then I'll be able to notice that right away. And then I can fix it. So the nice thing about this is it's pretty, you know, you can have all the calendars come up, all the reminders, all the calendars, all at one time, where, you know, and it gets kind of messy. You can do it in a week view. You can do it in a day view, an agenda view. I like the agenda view because, you know, and it goes back as far as however you want to go back, and you can click on today. So here's our today. So it's pretty awesome. Now, the one thing that I really like about it also is on the right-hand side. Remember we talked earlier about adding things? Well, I left something out on purpose. I wanted to show you this first. If you go back to settings and you go to labs, which that's a different tab. Now, labs in Google Calendar is just a testing ground for experimental features that aren't quite ready for prime time, but they're pretty handy, and you can enable and disable them at any time. One of the ones that I was trying was the world clock. This keeps track of the time around the world. When you click on event, you'll also see the event in many time zones. So I have that loaded. And how that works for me is, going back to my calendar, is when I click on an event. Okay, where are we today? Here we are, lunch with Len. Okay, now lunch with Len. Okay, 2:30, 3 o'clock. 2:30, 3 o'clock. Now the world clock comes up Pacific time Right now it's 2:56. And you look over here to the world clock and you'll see, well, it's 2:56 Eastern, 1:56 Central, Mountain 12:56, and Pacific 11:56. And that's kind of cool because, you know, if you have a family, this might matter, but if you have a business, this might make the big difference because you're always, in fact, Len, you and I are always doing this. Is it Laura time? Is it Len time? Is it Larry time? Is it Central, Pacific, Eastern? And anyway, this is a really cool world clock. All right, now let's see. I think that's pretty much it. Is there any questions out there before I get into one really cool hack? Let's see.
Terry and Chris are looking for the pancake.
The pancake. All right. So anyway, this for us has made a huge difference in our household because I probably spent about 3 hours, or you know, the original setup time for everything, and I think it was really time well spent because now everything is just out there. And this also, so every time you set something up with Google, you know, Google will allow you to share it to other apps. And one of the apps, if you run Evernote, I don't have any experience with Evernote. I've seen it a couple of times, but going through my research, I found that this is one of the apps that connects with the Google Calendar, and you could use that. Now there's another app that I really love, and that's my Amazon Alexa. And I don't know if you saw my live, I had a couple of live videos the last couple of days showing what the Amazon Alexa does. And the Amazon Alexa is so neat because once you connect it, so we connected our family calendar to the Amazon Alexa. And last night I tried it out because I wanted to see what it was going to do. And I wanted to hear what my agenda was, what I had left to do for the day. So all I had to do was say, Alexa, what's on my agenda for today? And she actually, because she has access to my Google Calendar, she told me I had 2 things left for the day, and she told me what they were. And so anyway, doing more research, I found that with using Alexa, you can ask, what's on today's calendar? What's on tomorrow's calendar? What is my next event? What's my calendar Saturday? And you can just, there's all different things that you can do. You can also add an event. And so with me cooking dinner last night, I went and I had Alexa add an event for me on my calendar, and I told her which one. So that was really cool too. And anyway, so I thought that was a lot of fun. Now, one thing that just came to mind, I want to create an event with you. So, and I didn't go over that, but I want to do that now real quick. Okay, so today, let's just say on the 28th of January, I want to add an event. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can click on create, or you can double click. I like to double click because then I can do everything that I want to do from there. I don't have to make any more clicks.
Whoa, wait, what did you double click on?
You double click on the date.
Okay.
And it can be whatever date.
Okay.
I find that the fastest way to do it. The other way, you're actually doing it this way, you're saving some time going back and forth to creating it. But you just go ahead and you create the event. Okay, let's just say one night, sometimes Friday nights, we do game night. And so we can actually schedule it. And when you do this, it'll ask you for the date. Now, if it's an all-day thing, you can put an all-day thing, or you can say it's not an all-day thing, but here's the time. Not sure why Google doesn't just insert your default time zone, but it asks you to re-enter it, which I don't really like, but it is what it is. But then once you put the time in there, let's just say 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Now, if this is a repeat, you can say repeat weekly, you can do daily, you can do monthly, yearly for birthdays, and then you could do which day. I would say Friday for us, weekly, starts on, you can change that, ends on, never ends, and then you go ahead and click done. So that's pretty simple. The nice thing about it is, see, right now it's currently set to default to my calendar, but since it's a family event, I can just change it to the family calendar. So if you have more, you need to make sure that you click on the correct calendar. And that was something that I learned because I had a bunch of things that I added and I was like, where are they? And I ended up finding out that I put them on my calendar, and I just went into them, edited them, and then put the correct calendar, and it was all set. But here's another feature that you might like. If you're sharing your calendar with somebody, let's just say I share a lot with Rick, and he has to take Alicia or Sophia to a basketball game. Well, you can enter the location, put the address right in here. And so when he looks on his calendar and clicks on it, it'll automatically map it. So for us as a family, that works well because he doesn't always know where the girls are supposed to go. And so, but that feature actually works with anything, whether you're going to a business conference, one of the girls has a basketball game, where's it at? Pretty much anywhere. Or if you're just going to a nightly event. And then of course you can change the event colors down here, and then you can say, do you want this to be a public calendar, private, and do you want to show me as available or busy? So those are all the things that you can throw in there. Now here's another nice feature. Now I can add additional guests. So if I have somebody that's not even on my calendar, but I want to invite them to something, just like Sophia has a first communion coming up. Well, I went and I did the event for the first communion, and then I went ahead and I invited my family. So they get the calendar for that day in the event. They know what time, where it is, and all the information on where they're supposed to go. And I just shared it with them. So all you have to do is enter in additional guests right here. As long as they have a Google account, you can send them that by their Gmail address. And I'm not going to save this. But I think that was, let me make sure that there was going to be, I had a couple other things that I was going to share with you that I just thought were kind of neat. Are we okay on time? Because I know I'm over.
I'm okay. Anybody who has to leave and go somewhere can leave. The question.
Yeah.
The question was asked about the replay, and yeah, there's a replay, and we'll put it up in the Lunch with Len group. Rick asked about whether it has an alarm, and I think that question's been answered by a couple people, but maybe you want to touch on it. Do we have an alarm feature?
Yeah, there's a, I believe when you go in here, where is it? Notifications. So right under the color event, when you're adding an event, Rick, you would whatever, add your name, and all the way down under notifications, it'll allow you to do an email, or it'll pop up on your phone. You can say 1 day, 1 week, what time, and you can add many. So if you want to make sure that you're going to be wherever you're supposed to be in 2 hours, 1 hour, 45 minutes, 15 minutes, you know, you can put as many as you want in there.
Cool.
And there we go.
Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I know there's a lot of there's a lot of different things that you can do, and the one thing that I suggest is if you think you want to do it, just go into your Google account, add, you know, just add an event and see how it works for you. And if you want to watch the replay, if you want to give me a call, you know, if you get stuck on something, let me know. But I can say that this is really, setting this up has really saved our family a lot of time.
Well, I can see that, especially with a family as active as yours is, with so many different things going on and different people going different directions all the time.
Yeah.
I'm amazed you kept track of it at all without something like this to help you.
Yeah, I was doing it all by hand. Yeah, that had to go. I just had to get out of my shell and say, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing that anymore.
So you and I started using Calendly some time ago, a little while ago. Does Calendly integrate with this? Do you know?
It does. In fact, that's the other thing I was doing a little bit today. Once I got our calendar all set up and everything, I went to Calendly and I integrated the calendar. And, you know, right now I'm on the free version. So some of the really neat features you have to upgrade.
Okay.
And although it interacts with you, you can't tell at what time you're busy. And all it does is it puts the event on your Google Calendar. So if you send somebody your link and they go to the link and they sign up, then it just goes into your calendar, but it doesn't really say this is a conflict or you're already busy or anything like that.
Okay.
So we'll just have to keep, you know, keep trying it, and one day I'm sure we'll figure it out.
Well, as we get busier and busier, we may have to upgrade to something other than the free version. For right now, the free version has worked well for me, so I don't need anything else yet.
Okay.
We're talking about Calendly, folks, not talking about Google Calendar. You know, great. Awesome. Awesome. Well, are there any other questions out there? I don't see any. Is that it, Laura? We're all done?
Yeah, one more thing. I saw
Isn't that typical for a woman? One more thing.
Yep, just one more thing. Well, actually, thank you, Chris, because you just reminded me. There is a way that you can add like text messages to your phone if you have an Android. And thank you, Chris, because I did want to touch base with that. And I can, because I have the information on how to do that. It is, if you text day to 48368, then they'll send you your agenda for the day via text. Now, if you want your next days too, you just reply back next. And, you know, I always have my phone on me, so I'm not really sure that I haven't worked with that feature, but it could be handy for sure. So that's how you do it. And then the other one thing that I was going to mention to you, I know, Len, sorry, I was just thinking again, was the weather. Now, if you have your phone on you and you have gone in to the labs tab and you have put, you know, whatever Celsius or Fahrenheit, and you enable that, and then you save and get out, when you go to do something, it'll actually give you what the weather is going to be like for that event. So whether it's raining or snowing or sunny, really hot, then that really could be really helpful. Yeah. Okay. That's all I have, everybody. So I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, Len.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. I wasn't going anywhere. That's great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. I learned a heck of a lot. I think I'll go turn on my Google Calendar and start to use it, start to play with it. It looks like something. I mean, it's sort of like your microwave. It does so damn many things that you're going to probably have to play with a little while to figure out how to just schedule something, huh?
Yep. Yeah. And I already received a message from Terry. Terry, I will send out your keyboard shortcuts. I got to go pick up the girls, but I'll do it before tonight.
All right.
So
Awesome.
if anybody else needs them, just message me, and I'll shoot them to you. I appreciate that.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, Laura. Before I let you all go, at 5 o'clock, we're going to kick off Digging for Gold for this year. Come on, join us at 5 o'clock. It's about prospecting online, how to find leads for your business. And I'm going to revert back to Facebook for a little while here, and we'll talk about that at 5 o'clock. I'll tell you what I'm up to. And then at 6 o'clock, Laura is doing the corporate webinar tonight, gogreengetpaid.com/live. gogreengetpaid.com/live at 6 o'clock. No registration required. Just go to that website, and Laura will be doing the corporate webinar. So she always does an awesome job. It's a great webinar, a lot of good information. Bring a friend. All right? And if nobody else says anything else, we're going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. So are you ready to go?
Yep. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Everybody. Thank you, and bye for now.
Bye for now.